Well, good morning and welcome aboard. Two of us today. That's Uncle Brian in front, and it's thanks to Brian we've chosen this particular route. So, well done, Brian. He's not entirely comfortable being filmed, but he's got to get used to it today. So we're on the road between Stokesley and Helmsley, and sometimes that gets called the Yorkshire TT. That's probably a reflection on some of the riding that goes on along it, which I suppose is probably an undeserved title, but it is a lovely piece of road to ride on. So here we're still in the Tees Valley, but very shortly we're going to start. In fact, we are climbing now actually, and as we climb we're on the Jurassic rocks, and that's a bit different to my normal videos that are usually on the Carboniferous rocks. So we've come forward in time, well over 100 million years into the Jurassic, and of course everybody's heard of the Jurassic because of a certain film, and the Jurassic named after the Jura region in the Alps, of course. So we're climbing up now on rocks that are about 190 million years old. So enjoy the ride on a beautiful day. So one of the things that's really nice about this road are the twisty bits and the long sweeping bends, with plenty of good views. There's no need to take any risks if you need to overtake on this part of the world. It's very good, as you'll see. So we're dropping down now into the Billsdale area, and we're just coming into Chopgate. And one of the reasons I've wanted to put this clip in is a little bit of local recent history. Just coming into about your 12 o'clock now, you can hopefully make out on the horizon there a transmitter mast. That's the Billsdale TV transmitter, and it's infamous in the area because in 2021 there was a fire which damaged it so badly it had to be demolished, so we lost our television pictures for a while. And the replacement wasn't completed until the early part of 2023, and I think people are a bit surprised. You can't just go out and buy another TV mast, they have to be made. And you may be just about make out to the left of the main mast. There is the temporary mast that got put up as well to provide a semblance of a service. Anyway, that's the only modern history you're likely to get on this trip. The rest of it's going to be ancient. Now, as I mentioned, lots and lots of nice bits of road here, and when it comes to overtaking, well, you get some cracking places to do that. We've got a really good view here. Nice long sweeping bends, plenty of good views, so we can overtake very sensibly. I think it's probably also fair to say there are one or two bends that do tighten and can surprise you if you're not being careful. But we're climbing up now. Some of these rocks, they're still Jurassic, but a little bit coarser grained than some of the earlier ones, so they're perhaps a little bit more resistant to erosion. So we're climbing up onto the North Yorkshire moors. And now, after quite a few miles, which I've condensed into a few minutes here, we've got the town of Helmsley approaching. You just maybe make the buildings out on the horizon there. So Helmsley, nice little market town, very popular with riders. Do be aware though, if you're going to park your bike in Helmsley, you do have to pay, and there is a motorcycle option on the parking machines. So we're cheapskates, so we're not going to be stopping. So we're on a B road, but we're going to briefly join an A road now, the A170 towards Thirsk, just for a couple of miles. So we're just in the centre of Helmsley here. So as we come out of Helmsley, cross the river and climb up, and then eventually we come to a sharp right-hander, and that's where we're going to turn left and join yet another B road, and that's the road towards Malton, and that's another really nice road for riding on. Now, there's quite a few villages on this road, although it is a very pleasant road to ride on. I will put up the names of one or two of the villages as we pass through them. There are more than the ones that you're going to see here, but there are a couple of them. Another good thing about this road, of course, is it's another road with plenty of good views, so if you do get stuck behind something, getting past isn't usually a problem if you pick your moment and wait for the best viz. We had no problem at all getting past there, as you can see. So this is Hovingham. And there's a good cafe here. You can't hear Brian, he's talking to me on the intercom and telling me that there's a good cafe here, so I'll take his word for that. So if you're in need of replenishment at this point, it's worth considering. And yet more villages. We're still on the Jurassic rocks here, so we have come forward in time a little bit, maybe 20 or 30 million years, but not a lot. And eventually, after many a village, we start to approach Malton, which is the only really other major town on this route. And having passed the sign for Malton, it's not very long before you cross over the A64 York to Scarborough Road. You just crossed it there. That's the dual carriageway. You can see it clearly off the bike. That's a good landmark. When you do get into Malton, it's essentially a case of going straight on. Once you're across the lights, you then go down the hill towards the River Derwent. And once you've crossed over the river, you almost immediately cross over the railway line. It's a level crossing. You can go straight on. We chose to go left. That takes you through Norton on Derwent, but either way work just as well, really. So there's the level crossing, and we're just going to take a left here. Once you're out of the town, you're back onto yet another nice piece of road. It sort of heads in the Driffield direction, and it's not very long before you come into the village of North Grimston, where there's one or two quite sharp bends. Now you can see an escarpment in front, and we're going to do some real time travel now, because at the bottom of the hill that we're about to climb up, we're still on Jurassic rocks, and in the next half a mile or so, as we climb up Grimston Bank, we're going to go forward in time about 50 million years. I think there's a bit of a gap in sedimentation there, because we've now left the Jurassic, and as we reach the top of this hill, we're going to be riding on rocks that were formed in the Cretaceous period. So we've gone forward now to maybe about 100 million years ago, something like that. So a fair bit of time travel. Now it's not particularly obvious on here, but it most definitely is obvious when you're riding. The landscape here is notably different to the North Yorkshire moors, and that's because we're now on the Yorkshire wolds. Old English word wold meaning upland. Originally it meant forested, but I think in the end it got just used for upland. And now as we're coming towards the end of the route, we take a right, takes us up towards Fridythorpe, and we can look forward to a trip to the cafe. But before that, once we have turned right, we have a little bit more of that lovely chalk upland scenery to look at, and then a bit of a 30 mile an hour restriction as we go skirt around the edge of Fimber village just here. That's not too much of a hardship. We've fairly quickly passed through there, and the road opens out yet again, and we just got a mile or so straight before we come into Fridaythorpe, and here is the cafe. So I want to say first of all, thanks very much for watching. Thanks to Brian for having a good idea for the ride. Hope to see you on the next video. Please click like and subscribe, that really helps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers for now.